and say, you need to forgive your father. And it was in that moment she told me to forgive him because everything didn't fall on him. And so it was at that moment I began to listen to the words that she spoke, and as she spoke, it spoke to my heart, and it allowed me to forgive him for whatever he did do. And so, no matter who sits here today, and no matter who might have had hard feelings, one thing I can truly say is that once you have a heart to forgive, it's inevitable to try to hold on to anything that's not necessary. I truly believe that he loved each of you, each and every one of you in his own way. Moreover, I'm sure he would have definitely loved all this attention here today. He loved his family, and he made that known everywhere he went.
Amen.
You got this. You got it.
I got this.
Yup, you got this. Come on.
So in his words, one thing that he made clear was that his grandchildren were his.
Amen.
As if, all right, y'all got it. So he would make sure to go out of his way to stay in contact with his grandkids, no matter how he had to get to them, whether it was a phone call or getting on a bus or even walking to your house. He came to see them. He made sure to call, and he made it known to his kids to have them call him. So my dad cared with compassion, unlike none other that I've ever seen, and he made sure to tell me that he was working along with the community food bank to help feed other families. And that Saturday when, I came to his house and I discovered him, the first thing I did was I picked up his phone. Y'all know I'm churchy, so first thing I did was I picked up his phone and I opened and I looked to see if he had a Bible app. And there I found his Bible app, and I said, I wonder what you was reading before you slipped away. And ladies and gentlemen, family, this is where I'll begin to take our text from. So I'd like to, direct your attention to the book of Exodus. So when I opened up his phone, it was on Exodus. Exodus means to exit out of something. And so my dad was exiting out of the natural world, but he was leaving behind some things that he had me to want to just emphasize and tell you. So Exodus 4:1, and then we're going to jump down to 8 and 12, and it reads on this wise. Then the Lord said, if no one believes either of these miracles, take some water from the Nile River and pour it on the ground. The water will immediately turn into blood. Moses asked the Lord, suppose everyone refused to listen to my message. No one believes that you really appeared to me. Moses replied, I have never been a good speaker. I wasn't one before you spoke to me, and I'm not one now. I am slow at speaking, which means he kind of had a stuttering problem, if y'all didn't know. And I can never think of what to say. But the Lord answered him and said, who make people able to speak? Or make them deaf or unable to speak? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Don't you know that I am the one who does these things? Now go. When you speak, I will be with you and give you the words to say. May God add a blessing to his already blessed word. I believe that my father had a message for his children, and that message was like Moses' response. What if they don't hear me or refuse to listen? We've all been there. What ways can I impart into my children to encourage them that I have changed? What if, not only y'all, what if, but what if I did it my way? What if I did things knowing I had a few bumps in the road, that there were going to be some days ahead of me? But what if I never made things right? What if things didn't go your way? What if times got hard and I never gave you good counseling?
Come on.
What if times got hard between you and I that you found it hard to believe me when I was telling you just hold your head up?
Come on.
And trust the process. And that's what the Lord was telling Moses. I will be with you, but you had to trust the process. So family, what am I telling you today? Today is that sometimes you just have to learn to understand, in the words of Langston Hughes, that life for you won't be no crystal stair.
Hey.
And I know some of us made some wrong decisions and turned down the wrong road, but there comes a point in your life where we must let go of fear and speak what God is saying. I know that sometimes in life may bring us some upsetting news and it may hit us at uncertain times. But if we just try to understand, like Moses was trying to persuade God. He was trying to make an excuse because he didn't want to go on a journey. But family, might I submit to you this afternoon, this evening, that sometimes our mistakes, in our mistakes we learn certain lessons. Amen. All of us are on a journey of a process. All of us are on a journey of a process, trying to be better, trying to identify if I am one of them who struggle with the reality of this life. But as I spent time with my dad, not to be selfish, y'all, but as I spent time with my dad, I began to discover that he was ready and always ready to extend a helping hand. You had a pipe broke, my dad would be there trying to figure out how to tighten it. If you had a loose board on the floor, he came with a hammer and some nails and always had a little glue in the back pocket. Let's not forget the roof, because it was one day that I had just happened to bump into my dad, and it was in Irvington, and he was like, I'm with your little brother. I said, what you doing with him? He said, come see. Him and Thomas was on the roof putting in the roof tiles, and Thomas on the roof doing this. So, that was showing us that no matter how bad you want it, if you really want it, you just have to go after it. The more I spent time with him, the more he would tell me that his mistakes don't have to be our mistakes. Let me say that again to all the children that are watching and listening.
Say it again.
Mistakes don't have to be your mistakes. So no matter what he did, no matter how he tried, the best thing that I'll take from this man is that he tried. And he reached out. And he tried a little harder. And when things got rough, he reached out on the phone. And he called. So I'm just telling you, when times get rough, reach out.
Hey.
And so here it is, no matter what it may be you did in your past, you can't outlive it in your present. Let me say that one more time.
Say it again.
No matter what it is you may have done in your past, you can outlive it in your present. Moses made a mistake when he tried to kill the Egyptian man. Paul made a mistake when he tried to kill the Christians.
Come on.
Oh my God. And many of us are trying to kill our own kind because of the mistakes that they made. But I'm here to tell you that Peter made a mistake when he cut off the ear of the officer. Everybody makes mistakes, but sooner or later, God got to step in. And God begins to give us another chance. And I just want you to know that God is giving us another chance.
Amen.
And today, that chance starts now.
Come on.
It's now that you're able to forgive somebody. No matter how many funerals we come to, and no matter how many times it draws us closer, and it's y'all, we put on Facebook, it's time to start loving one another and doing this. But if you reach out a little more, then we might feel that love.
Amen.
If you reach out just a little more, and we might feel that. So today I come to tell you, today is the beginning of a new start. Yeah, because today, December 19, 2020, when I look back over my life, one thing I do know, as all of us are sitting in this room, is that death is the one thing that will come like a thief in the night. It's the sting of death that makes it painful. Everyone present here is going to have an appointment with death. Death takes no vacation. nor does it wait for you to get it right. So why not get it right today? But eventually, death will knock on your door.
Come on.
And on December 5th, it knocked on the door of Macon K.Miller Sr. Just as I stood outside his door, eagerly waiting for him to open the door, I banged, but I couldn't get an answer. And right now, God is banging at the door of our hearts, waiting patiently for us to open that door. Or maybe even answer that call. But I wonder if he banged on the door of your heart, would you really let him in?
Yeah.
Would you really give him a chance to sit and sup with you and you give all to him? Would you today? But the text told us, and I'm almost done, but the text said, don't you know I am the one who does these things? And I believe that my Father answered that call to salvation when he called to have Bible study with me, when he said, son, you know you make me proud to be your father. At times when he said, if you don't have nothing, then and everyone turns their back on you, you turn to God. That's why in Matthew 28:20 it states, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you even until the ends of this world. So my father was unique. He was unique. And he was the life of every family gathering. Yeah. And here's the latter part that I'm glad to know. As I sat with my aunt and my sister and talked to Bishop, that had the opportunity to receive from other agencies and was so kind enough to share what he received with other families. He not only did that, but he would call my aunt and tell her he got to feed a family. And so it was his love for God that was so compelling, and that's real. I remember him saying, Psalms 23, that the Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures and leadeth me beside the still waters. He would even go on and quote Job 13, even though he messed it up a few times. He say, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. And he trusted God with everything he had. Although, Mr. Miller, you are no longer here, it's my opportunity and my privilege to say thank you. Thank you for being a father. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a counselor. Thank you for being a mentor. Thank you for being my father. But before I close, just as Paul was speaking to Timothy, a young Timothy at that, he told Timothy, he said, I fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth is laid for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them that love his appearing. Family, I'm finished, and I just want to encourage you with this, to keep the faith. Finish what you started. Forgive and let go. But most of all, keep the faith.
Amen.
See, if you lean not to your own understanding, but acknowledge God, he will speak for you. He will fight for you. He will shield you and protect you. And he will lead you and guide you through this thing called life.
Amen.
I need to tell somebody this.
Tell us.
And we're going to go home. Don't go blaming God. Let me say it again. Don't go blaming God. But understand that we have a set time on earth. And that we should use our time wisely. Dad, you fought well. You lived a life that was pleasing. It may not have been pleasing to other people, but it was pleasing. So I believed you earned your crown today. Now, if I knew how to sing the song, I would sing, I shall wear a crown. But you're wearing your crown, sir. Until we meet again, I'll see you in the morning.
Hey.
This is not goodbye.
Come on.
But it's see you later.
See you later.
Thank you.
Amen.